Right, welcome to Hauf Cutting Underinformed. We're in the Piper, but we're actually filming today in the Feathers Inn, or the Fiddlers? Fiddlers maybe?
Fiddlers.
We're in the Fiddlers in Campbeltown. We have Cheryl Lang and her sister Kelsey. Kelsey is the manager of 2 pubs and she kindly let us film in the pub. Beautiful pub.
Beautiful Guinness.
Springbank on tap, Springbank on Optic, which is mental. Fantastic chat. 2 lovely lasses. Cheryl invited us. Thank you very much for inviting us. But mainly, thank you for kind of organising a lot of the trip. She knew everybody there. So I hope you enjoy the conversation.
Cheesy.
Hi. No. That way. Go in the bar.
You've got a very obliging clientele. He's a nice man, I'll give you.
Tell me we've got that.
Right, on that note, welcome to Hauf Cutting Underinformed. We're actually on our away day. We're in Campbeltown. We've been invited down here by Cheryl, and we have her sister who is the landlord of this.
No,
yeah.
My mother-in-law is.
Oh, right. Good relationship with the mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Right, all right.
Yes.
Right. Carol, right, okay. So we're here. We are an independent bottler. You know who we are. So we independently bottle whiskey. We've only done like a few casks. We're trying to learn a bit about whiskey. And where else to learn a bit about it is coming to Campbeltown. So we've come down on your invitation, you did say.
The day we met.
The day we met. We've came with cameraman Daniel, who is fucking living his best life here. He's spent about £400 already.
Yeah.
So.
Well, visited one distillery.
I know. And we've come into the Fiddlers Inn.
Yeah,
is it?
That's right.
It is a fantastic pub.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for talking to us.
Welcome to
Thanks
Campbeltown.
very much, Shy.
Nice to meet
Lovely
you.
welcome.
Anton. Yeah.
So this is my first question. I've got 2 sets of questions because I was going to interview separately.
Right,
But this
okay.
is easier. No, we'll do it this way.
Yeah.
So my first question was like what it's like kind of growing up in Campbeltown. Obviously with whiskey, it is like whiskey's been like a massive part of the history.
Yeah. So we were brought up at the street called Princess Street, in a street called Princess Street, and we went to Daltover School, which is right beside Glen Scotia Distillery. But through the 90s, when I was growing up, Kelsey's a little bit younger than me, Glen Scotia was pretty much silent. So probably from around 1994 up until 1999, when I was at Daltover School, Glen Scotia was silent. Very grey, very glum, very quiet. There wasn't anything really going on. No distillation, no production going on at the moment. But I've always had a fascination with whiskey. And I either love it or you don't love it. But being from Campbeltown, it's pretty much embedded in you.
Yeah, I find that as well. I went to... I didn't know this was going to happen. I started telling a story and I forget what the location is.
That's all right,
But
that's okay.
It was a very whiskey place and you just go... Everybody either loves it or they don't. And it was very much... Everybody loved it. So it was very... Like the back bar here is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like looking at that is very impressive.
Yeah.
What's your relationship? Do you like whiskey? Is it?
I do like whiskey, but I would say that I've definitely got more into it since Cheryl started with her whiskey.
I've only started drinking
journey.
whiskey in the past 5 years though. When I started Glen Scotia 5 years ago.
Yeah, she's definitely got us more interested in what whiskey's all about and how different things can taste such and such, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I definitely think growing up in a small place like this, you do need to like whiskey, basically.
I think the kind of like drip feeding see when you were saying about Glen Scotia being silent, I grew up next to Glen Scotia, I was like, it's like a gang fight between Glen Scotia and Springbank, but that's not what I've experienced. Everybody's like, everybody's in the same boat.
It's a bit like the old firm, there's not one without the other. That's the thing, you have to have the two.
That's a good way to describe it.
It's true though, because obviously there's only 3 distilleries in Campbeltown now, Springbank, Glengyle and Glen Scotia, of course. So, and you have to have 3 to become a region now. So you can't really have, Glen Scotia going and can't have Springbank going, otherwise we wouldn't be a region. So it's the same as obviously football.
And that would, it would affect tourism. Well, I actually, at this point now, I think Campbeltown have got that much,
we're firmly back on the map.
Following that
firmly back on the map.
If they took the region off you, nobody would care. People would still be here.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of paper.
And I can see why, me and Anton are all guys. Like I love all guys pubs and history, and see like driving up here. It's beautiful. The scenery's class. Albeit I've seen about 10 different seasons, which is not uncommon in Scotland.
No.
But I can see why people love coming here.
West is best.
Especially today, our painter was in here earlier in the beer garden because it's nice and sunny.
I know.
And then he had to run away because the rain came. So
yeah.
So how long, we'll talk to you, Kelsey, about the pub. How long have you been working or related to the pub? Or
So I actually met my husband in the pubs.
in this pub?
The Feathers Inn, the sister pub to the Fiddler's Inn.
Fantastic.
So that was 11 years ago.
All right.
And then I actually worked in here before I met Simon. I didn't really know him because he did the day shifts and I did the night shifts. And I met him in the pub one night and didn't actually put the connections together. I didn't realise who he was at the time, which was really weird in a small town. And then we got together and that's me been here 11 years. And
that's mad.
Every year I get more invested in it. More invested.
Yeah, and more responsibility.
Yeah, more responsibility. My father-in-law and mother-in-law have been amazing to me, and they have shown me everything that I need to know. Obviously, because they're getting a bit older now and stuff. So they just want to put that responsibility onto me and Simon.
How long have they had the pubs for?
So
you're good at this.
Well
done.
You're asking questions because you know the answers. I like it.
You need to be a nosy bastard.
I'm interested in people that I do want to know the answers. So when I do meet people, I do ask quite a lot of questions. It's not because I'm really nosy. It's because I am genuinely interested.
I will say I'm a nosy bastard, but I'm interested. Like I remember.
How long have they been running the pubs for? Though it's
so
been a long
the
time.
Feathers Inn was first. That was in 1996. Is that right? 40 years. No. 1986. 1986. I think that's
Simon's
right.
40.
Yeah. So 1986, and that was December, and the pub was originally called the Smuggler's Inn, but it was shut for 5 years, and then they ended up buying it, and then 10 years later, in 1996, they bought the Fiddlers at auction, and they've had both ever since.
I'm assuming the Smuggler's Inn's to do with the illicit whiskey that's in Campbeltown.
Oh, funny enough, we are releasing something and it's got all the illicit in it.
Oh, really?
Basically, Campbeltown had hundreds of illicit stills all around the place before, obviously, like they had their first distillery, which was Campbeltown Distillery in 1817, and I think it was like 1823 before they actually started taxing whiskey. But yeah, Campbeltown was just filled with illicit whiskey. And see, when I was talking about the Campbeltown Loch, the ladies actually used to go and bury their stills like in that kind of little marshy bit of land when the tax man used to come over. And then basically it was a little bit of land that they could bury their stills and then dig them up. A little bit like when you bury a bottle of Buckfast at a festival and then like pick it back up again. It was a little bit like that.
You know as well already. That's the first time you've met Anton, you know me well.
Are you a Buckfast man? How did I know?
You have that look about you.
Yeah. just half bottles these days.
My husband's a Buckfast man as well.
And only go to the football.
Yeah. Do you drink vodka and Ironbrew as well?
No, I'm not allowed to.
Too
I used to do that.
We're not allowed vodka. There's my dad.
I'm a rum whiskey guy.
He fell head first down a set of stairs when we were out at a party one night, and that was the last time I drank vodka.
I'm not allowed tequila, so if I
that was when tonight, Venom just came about.
My sister likes Venom.
Nobody told you how much units from them.
For Venom.
Aye, it's not
good. Allowed them?
Is it? Aye, Venom's I think
I'm
west of Scotland, I would imagine then.
I don't like them.
No, they are. They're shite.
No,
I don't like it that drunk. See, if I want to get that drunk, you do end up that drunk if you drink enough of that.
It's just they're too sweet. They're too sickly. I don't like them.
Have you seen that video of the guy? You're a TikToker. You know about this. So have you seen that video of the guy? And he's like, it's a guy come back with like a Venom, and he puts it in. He's like 20 fucking quid.
How much
but they are extortionate.
11.45.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. It's not 20 quid.
They were a tenner 8 years ago, so with inflation, that's good, aye.
Yeah, well, that's true. But in Campbeltown, we're all 35 mils, not 25 with Glasgow. So 35 mils here.
Or if you got the Royal, it's 50
That explains why the pints are expensive.
They're not.
I'm only kidding you. I will say the pints are phenomenal. We say that straight away. You pour the pints and they look amazing.
Yeah. Good Guinness, well done.
Good Guinness. A lot of pubs in Glasgow just can't be asked.
Yeah, taking
Guinness.
the time.
Or they just look shite.
Yeah, taking the time.
But you've done a great job. So I was amazed when I came in. First of all, because all the labels were pointing forward. That seems like someone in here's got a mental thing.
She's definitely put it on to me. Simon's actually one of the most.
I like it.
Simon's the pickiest person ever, so he needs to have everything.
But I
right.
like that. But also, you've got a Springbank 10 on
The optic.
on optic.
And we've got a Springbank 15 on the optic and the feathers as well as the 10.
The
Do you know-
15, you can't get your hands on it, so have that on an optics pretty
I know that's amazing. So
Yeah.
you use like partner of mafia that go up and just.
You still have to
buy
stand in the
shit.
queue. You still have to stand in the queue.
Oh, fuck. Do you get a trade price on it?
No.
For
We
fuck's
do
sake.
we do like
We get a
for
wholesale on certain things.
such as like the 10-year-old and stuff. But no,
15
we have
is
to stand in the
different,
queue like everyone else and pay exactly the same as everyone
No,
else.
but
I
I
respect
like
that.
I respect
that.
it as well. I respect it as well. That
That's-
kind of because he was snoring in the back, me and Daniel were talking on the way up about like no lore, but like stories behind Campbeltown, and cage bottles was like always a thing I'd heard. Like you need to queue for a cage bottle.
Yeah, on a Thursday.
Aye, I know, and I was like,
I think they put
And
one
it-
bottle of 15 out a day or something.
aye, it is,
Only
aye.
a Thursday.
30
No,
for a
no,
cage
no,
bottle.
I think it's
but no, a
straight.
15 old goes out every day, I think.
Someone was
Yeah.
actually in here yesterday and they asked me how they would get a 15-year-old bottle, and I said go stand first thing in the morning, and they said they went the day before. There were 6 people before 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, you just have to do what you've got to do.
You have to
I'm
go at 8
afraid.
o'clock.
Yeah.
I like
It's a good
whiskey is amazing. I don't know if I could get out of my bed to do that.
No.
Saying that, I was
Depends
up-
on how far you've travelled. These people are coming from Japan and America.
No,
and,
then
you
fair
know,
enough. Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I
they're
get
coming
it.
a long, long way.
I get
People
it.
from all around the world are coming to this tiny little place of
Aye,
Campbeltown.
because you've done it well and you've been doing it for years.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
Aye.
We have. And things are growing and growing and growing, and more people are coming every year.
Yeah,
And
do
it's
you
amazing.
find that? Yeah, have you
Definitely.
noticed?
Absolutely. I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
known the whiskey to be so popular. It's
Yeah.
over
Which is amazing because, like, we're kind of seeing the side of we're bottling it, so we're seeing all the fees that are like duty increases. So you see all that stuff.
So
and you're
that's
like,
the thing. The
you-
visitors are still coming. It doesn't mean they're buying as many bottles. But
Oh,
the
no,
visitors
yeah.
are still coming to the area. They're still wanting to have the experience. They still
Which
want
I-
to be in
I
Campbeltown.
think
Doesn't
is-
mean they're buying as many bottles as
Aye,
they were
I think it's
were.
amazing. Like, even see if you're coming to Campbeltown, my first thing would be it's Campbeltown whiskey. I'm having Campbelltown whiskey.
Yeah.
Albeit you don't need. And I'm saying this like an absolute fucking idiot. I've just spent 300 quid in bottles in Springbank there,
Yeah.
so I have
Get a
spent.
cage bottle.
I did die.
Yeah. Good.
I did. Do you know, fun enough, when I was trying to book the tour, because we booked a tour initially for 1 p.m, they said, when I looked at the 9:30 one, 9:30, if you go on a 9:30 tour, you will miss the shop opening for 10.
Yeah.
So do not like hold us responsible for
Yeah.
not getting
That
a
might
cage
kind of
bottle.
cut out a lot of
And
people
I was
in
like,
the queue, though.
Oh,
eh?
what? I was like, I didn't even think of that. So they're actually
Yeah.
saying there's a disclaimer, you might not get what you want if you
Yeah,
go on this
yeah.
tour. So I find that
Can I
amazing.
ask you a question?
Go.
Did you know Campbeltown before you knew Campbeltown whiskey? Did you know anything about Campbeltown
Eh,
before? Have you
I-
heard anything
I
about
had
it?
my mate used to have family in Carradale.
Oh, right, okay.
So
That's where our old master distiller Ian McAllister's from. He's from
Oh, right.
Cardiff.
So I'd heard of it, and it was always just whiskey was like it was a way to kind of lock down on a bit of info of a particular place. Like
Okay.
I'd never really looked into it. I'd heard of it.
Yeah. You'd heard the song Campbeltown Lock, I Wish You Were Whiskey.
Do you know what? So I'm a panel beater. You usually probably see the cuts in my hands. Like
Yeah.
they're on. My hands are killing me now because they're all infected, right? But my tradesman when I was like 18 used to sing that song, and I was like,
Campbeltown
"What
Lock, I
the
Wish
fuck
You
are
Were
you
Whiskey."
singing that?" He's like, "Oh, Campbeltown Lock," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So I'd heard all this, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
So there's two
Yeah.
locks. There's Campbeltown Lock and there's Cross Hill Lock. And Cross Hill Lock is where all the water source that basically makes Glen Scotia, Springbank and Glen
Right.
whiskey.
I need to
comes from
ask you a
Cross Hill.
question here, right? Because
Yeah.
this is the one thing that heavy annoys me.
Right?
Campbelltown funk.
Oh, I said you were going to ask that.
I fucking
What's
hate that
Campbelltown
phrase
funk?
I know,
because
me
nobody can
too.
ever tell me what it is.
It's- do you know
like-
what? But see, if I was to be completely truthfully honest, which I don't really know if I want to be.
Be honest, please.
I think I know what you're gonna say, I
right,
remember you saying
so
this.
that lock was built in 1860 by the Duke of Argyll, right? Okay, so it was built in 1860 to supply, all the whiskey industry with their water supply. It's just rainwater getting into that lock, and then an old pipe going from the lock to the distillery. The Campbeltown Funk's probably that old pipe going
I remember
from
you
the
saying this, and I
lock
was like,
to
"That's
the
kind of bogging,
distillery.
man," but it's
Yeah,
class.
But the thing is, though, that's is there a Campbeltown Funk? They say there's just some. I just think Campbeltown in general just has its own little quirky ways. I think that's just.
I
what
think
it is.
that's especially like, go to see Springbank. That was
After
amazing.
that tour, and it was like there
Well,
wasn't
they're the only
one
ones to do, you know, barley to bottle. They're the
Yeah.
only, pretty
But
much the only ones
there
in
was not
Scotland
one
that are doing that.
digital machine in that process. Everything
No,
was
pretty
like
much, yeah.
light switches for the 1930s,
Yeah.
analog,
amazing.
the weights,
Yeah.
and I love that.
I know.
think
Glen
that's perfect.
Scotia, what I would say with Glen Scotia is a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. And you'll see that when you go and do the tour this afternoon. Like some of the machinery are just as old, but they have some new machinery as well. And obviously they've opened and closed many times, so things are a little bit different. But yeah, they're definitely a little bit of the old and a little bit.
So the only reason that the Campbeltown funk thing annoys me is because I still am shite with tasting notes. So see when somebody says that's funky, I'm like, what do you mean?
See,
Can somebody
I
explain
think this
what
is
that
actually
means?
something that someone's made up.
Aye,
This
I know.
Campbeltown funk, and not one person can actually.
Nobody can pinpoint on it.
Because when I get asked that question, I'm just like, I don't know what you
No.
want me to say, and everyone that gets asked that question say the same
But it
thing.
annoys me because I was literally looking at it like a whiskey wheel going, how would you put that in there?
No.
Because it's Disney, it's not a describing word,
No.
it's like a...
You
what
don't
is
know
it
it's a
describing word?
Springbank, you know it's a Glen Scotia, it's a
Yeah,
Glengyle, you know it. They have their own
Have they all
profile.
three of them got the funk?
They've all got the funk. They've all got the funk.
I'm saying no, I
Campbeltown
just know what
funk.
I'm expecting when we
It's
go
all
to
the
this
fun.
second distillery tour.
But it all come from the same water source. We don't use that same water source for like drinking water anymore or whatever, but they're still using that same water source. If any other distilleries come, you know, to be built in Campbeltown, I don't think they'll probably use that.
So the three
but
distilleries still use
they
the
still
original?
use that same original 1860s.
Oh, right, so
Yeah.
Dalriata and Witchburn are...
I don't know if they'll be using that. I don't know if they'll be using that water source, to be honest with you, unless they may be. I don't know. Witchburn, they're way out at back to Hanish. They're out at the RAFB, still not. They'll be using a
Right.
different water source completely.
Dalriata.
They're that's a question I need to ask. I'm not really
Right.
sure if they'll be still using that
So
water
what-
source.
There's another question. What...
I'd like
'cause
to
I-
hope they would be.
Aye, so they are. Because
They're going to have the funk.
no matter what it is... Do you see that?
They said they're going to have the funk.
There's a tune that's coming in my
I
head.
know.
I don't know why I sing it.
I know.
But aye, so the question I asked was like of David when I was there. I was like, what's the general opinion of that and of that distillery opening? Well, two
Oh,
distilleries.
but the
opening.
distillery's coming here.
Yeah.
Everyone's really excited.
Yeah.
It's
And
not-
I was like,
yeah.
did people see it as competition?
Remember
For
we
you
used to
guys,
have-
like, especially
no.
for you running a pub,
No.
you won't see it as a
No, when we,
you'll be
we
like,
used to have
brilliant.
36
We'll be welcoming
distilleries.
them with open arms, honestly. We can't wait.
Campbeltown used to have
Fantastic.
over 30 distilleries, and now we've got 3. You know, like obviously Isla have, you know, many distilleries over there, and that is, you know, like, you know, whiskey heaven,
That
you know, to
seems
a
to
lot of
be what-
people.
That seems to be the bit of like people are like commenting about Isla, like going, fuck them over there.
Well, they've
That
got
seems
all
to
these
be-
distilleries, and
I
they
know.
like look at the tourism over there. It's really hard
I
to
know.
even get hotels and ferries to match up at the moment. For Campbeltown, I just think it would be such, you know, a great thing. Basically, whiskey and golf is our biggest tourism here in Campbeltown, and to bring them both together and to bring more visitors, I don't think anyone would have a problem with that.
No, I think that's good for the
not.
place as well. Because despite how, like, I love Springbank was brilliant,
Yeah.
albeit it's
Not
it's
been to Glen
old,
Scotia
but it's,
yet.
I've not been to Glen Scotia yet, we'll be there. But you're still driving past, there's some shops that are boarded up and you're like, oh, that
I
hang me
think that's
for how...
every small town.
Glasgow is
Even big, even
10
I-
times worse. I
Glasgow-
tell you what,
I don't want
Aye.
so
Glasgow is
basically,
10 times worse than that.
Glasgow is just a little bit different at the moment
Aye.
No, it's more
compared
here
to.
because it's such a small town.
I think that's what it is.
But that's what I was saying,
Yeah.
but that's the only, I only seen like a couple on the way in and I was like, it looks
But
worse
there's
than what
big
it is.
changes coming. So
But also,
Well,
I think
there
the
will
ones
be
that are
more.
obviously that have been there forever, that they're still surviving. I think that's quite an amazing
I think that's good as
thing.
well.
I think that's an amazing thing. You know,
It's such a... You said you lived in Denniston for a bit as well.
I did live in Denniston. I visited Denniston with friends over there, but I lived in Glasgow
All
for
right,
many
so
years.
look at you trying to
Yeah,
detach from
yeah,
the
yeah.
God's sake.
No. Like, so I spent a lot of time in Denniston with friends.
So
A lot of time
Denniston
in
is
Denniston with
vape
friends.
shops, shawarma, and
Well, it's got some good food. I heard
No, it's
Denniston
got
was
good
up
food.
and coming area.
it's been
in
up and come.
Glasgow.
It's
So
like
you-
rum's
so you
been
went
Still
in?
not. They've still not got the.
It's now £7 a
the-
pint now.
They've still. Oh really?
Aye, it's
okay,
like-
well it's not.
Aye, and it ain't
yeah.
like that. It ain't as good as that.
Yeah, you need to go to the Gentleman's Club in Campbelltown. It's £2.50 for a Guinness.
Anton's familiar with Gentlemen's Club, so I'll give him that.
Does he get red lights and secret rooms?
It's not that. Gentleman's Club. Not
We're
that.
the one to that.
You have to wear. You used to have to wear tuxedos to get in.
Did you?
Ah.
At one
never-
point. Well,
never brought my
on a,
tux.
on a special day, but no, you have to.
Oh, right.
To this day, if you were a member of the Gentleman's Club, which is now called the Club because we can't call it the Gentleman's Club anymore, the Club. I hate myself.
Has he got
for
the
that.
funk as well? I'm loving that Campbeltown funk. That's great, pal.
So basically, you have to wear like proper trousers. You're not allowed to wear trainers. All this kind of thing. You have to be kind of pretty well presented. But the drinks are like for a Victoriana from Glen Scotia would cost you quite a lot in the Royal. It's going to cost you probably about £3 in there. So that just gives you an
Tennis
idea.
is $3.30. I was told last week.
And I think again this is probably about $3.30 as well. Then.
Nah, that's class. So
Yeah.
like, how would you have said then how Campbeltown's changed? Like, from in your lifetime, what have you noticed different? Because, obviously I'm hearing about it a lot more, but
The whiskey industry is getting bigger.
I can
and
tie
bigger
that
and bigger.
towards my interest in whiskey. So
Yeah,
I would definitely say the whiskey industry and golf put together.
It's just
It's
they go
just
hand
went
in hand.
Crazy.
I mean, Macnahan is just voted one of the best golf clubs. I think it's the best top 100 in the world.
Yeah, it's
Is it?
amazing.
So how many golf courses have you got kind of nearby that are...
So you've got Macnahan's Dunes, Macnahan's Golf Club, and you have Dunaverty, which is a little hidden gem down at Southend. So have you heard of the Mulligan-Tyre? The song Mulligan-Tyre?
Good taught it primary two,
So basically the Mulligan-Tyre, there's a golf course down there called Dunaverty, and it's a little hidden gem, and they do wonderful things. And they were actually voted the best golf club at my Campbeltown Spirit Awards just recently. So so I did the Spirit of Campbeltown Awards, which is basically the locals voted for best pub, which what?
Fiddler's won.
Oh, congratulations. Amazing.
And if we counted the votes, the Feathers were second.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Fucking brilliant.
Just getting that in there.
Yeah, no, that's one of the events that I done in end of February.
28th of February.
Yeah, so we had sponsors from Glen Scotia, Springbank, Walt Whisky, and Brave New Spirits. Because obviously they're building Witchburn here, so that was really
how
good.
just so that I know, how far away is Witchburn from here?
So 8 miles out the road, something like
15
that.
minutes,
They're
maybe?
out at the RAF base.
So
That's where Campbeltown Bond are now. So it might.
Somebody was telling us about the
they're
robots.
Owned by Vintage Acquisitions in London. So Campbeltown Bond are a private cask investment company.
They were saying, you were saying it was going to be AI that gets your cash for you.
A robot.
That's why I said robot and you weren't paying attention. I was like,
you were meaning by that. So basically,
she's good at this because she just lost there me saying absolute nonsense.
I was like, what are you on about? No, so basically it's just like it's a racked warehouse, but it's like there's 4 Gaydon hangars, which used to have like, it could fit 4 aircrafts in them, and it's absolutely amazing. But they've got racked warehouses up there now, but they've got a robot which will go and then pick out your cask. So it's not quite there yet, but it's a work in progress.
Since the plan was to land your plane and then the robot would bring your cash to you have a look at.
Before we know it, we'll have cars and taxis.
That's
That's
it. We'll have Sky TV sometime.
Do they know how many jobs these 2 new distilleries are bringing to there?
Well, I know, no, definitely not. I think
So that's excellent.
because they're not actually open yet. You're never going to know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I do know that Springbank and I would say McFadden's contractors are the biggest employment in the area.
Fun enough, I've seen McFadden's in.
I was kind of hoping we might
finishing that.
I was kind of hoping we might meet Billy at some point tonight. You can maybe get a wee
He's
chat
in
with
Ireland
him.
just now.
Oh, he's in Ireland.
Yeah.
But he is.
Is he?
They
What
are
for?
the
I don't know if
drinking
last
whiskey
night.
on a boat.
Staying all right.
I like
Just
that.
seen him was tagged in something last
You would
night.
like Billy. You would like Billy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're asking about how you've seen it changed. The one thing I was learning about this when I was kind of starting to do this was that you have a tourist season.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot. The whole of
Pretty
Scotland does
much
for
it,
whiskey.
too.
Yeah. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think you're insulated in Glasgow.
So-
You can go out in Glasgow every single night and you could
you
there's
wouldn't
thousands
know.
of people everywhere.
So, and then when I started learning about that, I was like, all right, is that
that's
a
the
thing?
city life, though,
I
isn't
know.
it? Yeah.
I'd definitely say we have a tourist season. The busy season for the whiskey
May.
sector is May to September, October.
Mhm.
But I have noticed recently in a lot of previous years that a lot of people are also coming maybe like April time
I would
because
say,
they're not
yeah.
getting accommodation for May because
It's
the
so
whiskey
busy.
festival's on and
Alright.
there's no accommodation.
Sounds like you go to Ibiza and you go maybe go on Main, stay at a nicer
I
hotel.
went-
So you just home. That's the same thing.
Well, I went in Ibiza in April and it was nice and quiet.
Aye.
It's fine, you can do your thing.
You stay in like a Schweier for a wee
Yeah,
bit cheaper than what you would in
May
June.
I think we're going to Ibiza for my stag do. So
Are you?
in
When
September.
do you get married?
Oh, wow.
Next September 11th. Just because
Lovely.
it's a nice.
I'm a September
Easy
wedding
date.
too.
So you
Yeah.
are.
2023.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
So I've got a baby due in 5 weeks.
Have you?
So this was almost cancelled
Congratulations.
because
Oh.
Rebecca was starting to freak out in case she went
Oh,
early.
congratulations! That's
No wonder,
so
in the
nice.
middle of nowhere.
We're both mums, so we understand
Nah, I
that.
can't wait. It's got to be good. I've just bought a bottle in Springbank that's I've just got to keep.
That's
Oh,
really
for
nice.
hanging me.
Congratulations!
If Glen Scotia was first, I'd have bought it there.
Obviously.
We were talking
You
about
should buy another one.
Don't fucking start. So, talking about tourist season, have you got any moans about it?
Absolutely not.
No. Do you have any weird
Are they quite-
visitors?
are they quite
Any fucking
respectful?
weird stories?
Uh-huh.
Aye.
The thing is, the
Because
one
I know
thing
Americans
about...
can be fucking weird.
I love Americans. I really
me
do.
too.
I love the Americans.
So I'll tell you one though, my weirdest tasting that I ever done was...
you are the same thing.
I think about that episode during the farm, they walk in, there's the two Americans, they order the 2 pints of 10 to buy it, and he goes, £39.60. He goes,
No, I love the Americans. They're always
Yeah,
so
they're
full of life, and they're just so, they're invested in it, they love it. They want to do everything, and they want to ask as many
And they're good
questions as
tippers.
But
possible.
I think they're willfully ignorant, and not in a bad way, but like they don't know it really anything outside of. I think every American I've met. I think every American.
American as the city goes, I said that earlier, aye, city ones.
Well,
Yeah.
aye.
Ignorance is
But I think
bliss.
every American, because my mum's got pals who've moved to America and their family come back and they're so wrapped up in what's happening in America, they think it's the world.
No, but when they come here, they just absolutely love it.
I respect
No, but I
Yeah.
like that because,
Yeah.
but then they ask questions because they genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
So the people I've met, I was like, oh, you're
It's
class.
such- yeah.
Because you're so energized to ask questions and they're
Yeah.
dead polite. Like, I think
They're
Americans are so
lovely.
polite.
No, I used to work in cruise ships, and it was all Americans. And again, I would say 99.9% of everyone was lovely. You're always going to get someone that's not very nice when it comes to
Aye.
working in the public. It's just exactly the way it is. No, I don't think I've had many, but the strangest tasting I've ever had, and they were lovely, like don't get me wrong, but they were New Yorker Jews, and we were in the Dunnage warehouse and we were having a tasting, and they started doing exercises, and amongst every dram we had, they started doing they were doing star jumps, we were doing press ups, we were on top. I have no idea. Next to they're obviously singing all their songs, but the last song we sang was Mulligan Tire, so it ended up working out quite nice. But they were singing songs and drinking, and then they would do they would do their what's it called? What do you call them?
Star jump.
Star jumps. That's the jam word.
It does if that was like
We've only got 2 minutes.
I just respect
But
that
yeah,
Americans
I
come
mean, it
all the
was
way
one of
through.
them ones. Is like, is this actually really happening?
The fact they come to America to here,
I
which is
mean,
hard to get for us in
We
Glasgow.
have people come
is
from
amazing.
every
Yeah.
corner of the globe.
I
come
love
to
that.
Campbeltown, and I love it.
Aye, so we might need to cut this short because Daniel's telling me we've got 2 minutes and I don't know why.
I think it's the card.
Can we stop and do another? Right.
Okay.
Right, we'll take. This is part 1. We'll do part 2 in a second, right? Before anybody gets up.
TikToker.
No, I'm fucking shit. I'm shited at all. I didn't know we only had half an hour in the bank. Right, we'll go for part 2 in 2 seconds.
You need to pant them.
Part 2.
Best thing for it.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Aloe vera is. I've got to tell you a story after.
Okay.
Don't
Right,
waste your 15
we've
minutes.
got
on
15
that,
minutes. We've got 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes. This
That's
is
your
for people
problem.
Informed 2. We ran out of memory on a memory card there.
There's been too much.
So we were talking too much nonsense there. So we're back to the nitty gritty here. We'll talk about you have just left your job at Glen Scotia
I've just left my job at Glen Scotia. Yeah.
to pursue.
Congrats.
Well, I'm hoping. Yeah, thank you.
Excited.
Don't know what to
Aye, no,
say, I'm
congratulations.
You made
Aye.
a life decision.
I have.
Well done.
Aye, it's good.
Take the leap.
Good on you.
Take the leap.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm starting out on my own. I am going to be an independent whiskey host, doing tours, tastings, events, and a concierge service in Campbeltown.
Fantastic.
So-
So what's the
Cheers.
concierge service?
Cheers.
Cheers to your new
Cheers.
career.
So the business is called West
Thank
Coast.
you for the pipe, by the way.
You're very welcome. West Coast Concierge. That is the business name. So
She's seen her daughter try to say that word to me this morning. It was so
Concierge.
funny.
West Coast Concierge.
She's like, my mum's left her job and she's a concierge something.
She's definitely goes to the wrong one, don't you?
Well, my good friend James Hamilton, who works in Tarbert, he has a whiskey shop. He's West Coast Whiskey, so I can take that name.
Right, okay.
But West Coast Concierge, it just seems to flow.
That's good, yeah.
It seems to flow, and it kind of gives an overall. Because I don't just do tours and tastes. I have been doing events for about 11 years now. So and yeah, I've been doing events for
lot
a
of
long
years.
years. I know. I'm always
So,
like, come to my events.
Can
Come to my
what
events.
did you do before Glen Scotia then? If you were
Yeah, I
doing
was
events?
actually a spa therapist. From I was
Oh, right,
17,
okay.
so I went and lived in Glasgow when I was
Mhm.
turned 17, went to Central College of Commerce,
Mhm.
lived at Buchanan View, and done beauty therapy, and then I worked on cruise ships, and then went to the Serenity Spa, and then I had my own business. So then I've been working as a spa therapist since I was 17, I was 30. And then it was COVID, and then I tried to go for a job at Glen Scotia. I've always wanted to work in the whiskey industry. So basically, I used to work in a shop called Eaglesom's, which was a sandwich bar, and it was a whiskey bar, a whiskey shop, and it was owned by Springbank. And all the tours used to come in, and sometimes I would just basically pretend that I knew what I was going to do and like go in and serve behind the whiskey bar, and like I actually served Stella McCartney one time actually. And I used to pretend that I knew what I was talking about and basically like, oh, you can get this whiskey and that whiskey. So I always had like a kind of fascination with it.
That's mad. Me and
So I
him do that
knew-
all the time.
I do think about it as well. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm talking
It's
about.
called fake it till you make
Fake it
it.
till you make I do think though, if you want to have a business, you have to have a little bit of delusion, in your life. You have to know,
Aye.
you have to be like, when I first met you, you'd never been stepped foot inside a distillery before, yeah?
No, I'd been in 1, 2 maybe.
Yeah, but-
one.
but
Aye,
you-
aye, I was
No
like,
one's better.
But you
Aye, no, that's was in 2. I could do it. Springbank
But you
today.
set up an independent bottler, and when I first met you, I couldn't fathom how you could actually, be a whiskey independent
need to be.
bottler. But you're obviously legal.
You've got all your.
So I think
Ducks in a row.
yeah. But that's what I was looking at. That's not what I'm talking about. But
Just to be delusional and just
yeah.
try, like,
Oh,
it
aye,
can
aye.
be done.
But I think that's what you're doing well for, right? You're doing well for it. And I think
Well.
that you're
Right,
doing well.
So, what was your role? Because I wanted to ask this at Glen Scotia, but
Uh-huh.
we'll probably avoid that. Then, but what was your role in Glen Scotia?
My role at Glen Scotia was doing the tours to start off with,
Mhm.
and then tastings. So basically,
All right.
Yep. So anyone comes into the distillery and they wants a tasting, a limited edition, a Dunwich tasting, a premium tasting. I'd be the person to do that, and
Fantastic.
everything in between as well. So because it's such a small distillery, there's only 12 members of staff there. You have to do the emails. You'd have to do, the kind of all the
12?
ad. There's 12 members of staff there. But
He was just
Lachlan-
telling us Springbank's got 140.
that's what I'm saying.
110 at the site.
Yeah,
Right.
but
I'm,
That's
no,
Based on the shops.
they're the biggest employers in Campbeltown. But Lachlan Group own Glen Scotia, remember?
Right,
So they have like 150 employees at Lachlan.
Oh, I was
And
just before it. I was about to start backing news over Springbank there, but then
Well, at one point though, like around I don't know the late 90s, there was only 5 members of staff making all the.
was this when
all
you were
the-
saying it was like silent?
It was pretty
when you
silent.
kinda
At
grew up
one
there?
point, there was only 1 member of Springbank and 1 member of Glen Scotia, and they were making all the whiskey at one point as well. So they have worked together over the years.
Why would they silent for that half decade?
Just
period?
going with the rise and fall of the whiskey industry.
Well, that is that, aye.
That's pretty much in the recession in the 90s.
Did you
as well.
notice after you started working with them with COVID?
So I started off in 2021 when we won Best Whiskey in the World and Best Distillery in the World.
Put
So I
that
kind
in-
of started off
Put
with
Yeah,
that,
so-
put that on your resume.
There's another question. Do
Just
you-
joined the one.
as a because it's such a small business and it's so community focused, kind of. Do you feel that as a team win?
Yeah.
Like, do you all get pure
When I
buzzing
first
with it?
started, it was Ian McAllister was the master distiller. He's just literally left to go and work in China. He's set up a whole new, like a huge project over in China. He's basically teaching them how to make Scotch whiskey.
I've been following his TikToks. It
He's
looks
doing amazing. He's got it's like Willy Wonka in a chocolate factory for like a master distiller over in China. But anyway, so when I started with him, and I really couldn't have got into the industry at a better time, especially when Glen Scotia. Not many people knew about it, 10, 15 years ago, but it just grew and grew and grew and grew.
I will say it was one of the ones I learned about later because I didn't know. I heard about Springbank first.
Well, they've always been on the map, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was just one of the ones I'd learned. As I said, it was kind of like the way I learned about whiskey was like
Yeah.
regions. Then
But remember when we did the course together?
I know I did.
we
Don't
watched.
embarrass me. Fuck's sake. Is that the one I was going? Yeah, yeah.
No,
Cheryl
not-
was sitting in
not
front of
at
me
all.
and turned around and goes, "You actually don't know anything about whiskey, do you?" Daniel can vouch for it at the back.
It says he just
Or it may have
straight,
been him
he just
saying it to
straight
me.
by.
We were all on that course together at the Piper Whiskey Bar, and I think it's quite amazing that we're all sitting here together. And we met lovely
Aye, aye,
Gillian. We met lovely Gillian.
Gillian.
But yeah, no, I think it was worthwhile doing that course.
Oh, it certainly was, aye.
It was worthwhile
Because you
doing that
invited
course.
us up and we came.
And I said, you
it's-
need to come to Campbeltown. But what I was meaning was, we actually watched a video of Springbank, and I was like, oh, there's my auntie, there's my cousin. Remember, we're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It
I
takes you
remember.
through the whole process. But I don't even
So
know where
that's
we're going
what I
with
was
that
saying.
anyway.
No, because I was saying that when I got to Springbank, and I was saying I remember the best thing about it was seeing the signs like,
Yeah.
you're peated for 4 hours or peated for 48 hours, and then you're like, I was like, that's so simple. Like,
Yeah.
everything seemed so simple, and then he took us there and showed us. I was like, that's so easy. I could do it. And then I was like, that's class. That's what whiskey should be. And then the tours that I'd done before, I was like, this.
I find when I do my tours, I make them quite personable. I don't like to do the exact same tour for every single person, and also make it, what's the word? Not layman terms, but like basically just so if anyone walks through the door, you can kind of. I always say, have you been to distilleries before? And they'll say, yes, I have been. No, I haven't been. And I'll always find that I'll write it at the very start of the tour, because you don't want to give the exact same tour to somebody who's never walked through the door to a distillery to someone who's went through 100 distillery tours before. Because once you've done one, sometimes it is a little bit repetitive. But I like to make mine personal.
It is repetitive.
I like to make mine. Everyone has their own way and their own stories, and that's what makes it nice.
That's what I when I think of Glengoyne, when I go, that was the first tour I went to.
That was one of my first tours too.
So I went there and I didn't. Funnily enough, I was driving up and I was thinking, what did I buy in the shop? And we were distilling rum at the time. And I was like, I was going to buy rum, but I just didn't, because it wasn't distilled there. But I was going, my thoughts of Glengoyne is the person who took the tour.
Yeah.
And they were sound as anything. So I think of Glengoyne
it's
as
such a huge part of doing a tour.
Aye.
It really
and you think
is.
it's such a, it sounds like such a little part.
Tour
like,
guides are such an important part of a whiskey experience. And obviously I'm not just saying that because I am a whiskey tour guide, I'm a whiskey. I wouldn't say I'm an ex. I'm a whiskey host now.
You're a whiskey
I'm a
host.
whiskey host. My main aim is to bring as many people to Campbeltown as possible and to show them the best of the West, and to bring them basically around the best pubs, the best distilleries, obviously the 3 that we have here, the golf courses that we have here, show them the beaches, show them the restaurants, and just let them have a good time in Campbeltown.
So is your main focus to be in Campbelltown, or would you like to do like
events elsewhere?
Maybe taking people
I
to
would
Edinburgh?
say Glasgow and Edinburgh. Glasgow
So
is
good.
my city. I was born in Glasgow. My nana and papa, Kelsey's nana and papa, used to own the Glasgow Youth Hostel. So our lives have been around Glasgow. You know where Kelvin Grove Park is? One Park Terraces. That's where we're kind of brought up. I
thought you very West End, I would say.
Not at all. You don't know our family. But anyway, we've always been around Glasgow. Edinburgh is just something new. Getting to meet Megan and Woody from Woodrows of Edinburgh, and doing a tasting at the Belfry Bar, I've found a whole new love for Edinburgh, and I just think it's just actually.
Was that the recent one?
That was just recently.
I seen it on Instagram.
Yeah,
I was like, that's brilliant that you're doing that.
that was my first outing into the actual the whiskey tasting world out with Campbeltown, and it was interesting.
Have you ever seen that thing where the Amish get like, where the Amish go and see the outside world, and if they want to come back, they can come back? Do you know what I mean? They go and see what technology is. You went to the big city like Edinburgh.
I remember I used to live in Glasgow.
No, just the way you said that. There was that. You sound like you're just getting your first taste of Edinburgh and Glasgow.
I meant like I've got a whole newfound love for Edinburgh. I used to find like Glasgow was my city because I think it was a bit more kind of more real and like a little bit more down to earth. And I always thought Edinburgh was a little bit more, a little bit more posh and a little bit more upmarket. But now every person I've actually met in Edinburgh have been so down to earth, they've been so lovely and so welcoming. And one of my good friends lives there now, down at Portobello Beach, and I've had so many good experiences there now.
Oh, it's nice doing that.
It's lovely.
Edinburgh's got the better pubs, I think.
Edinburgh's
for bars in the city centre.
I just
It's
find
for
it
franchises
hard
and
in
bars.
Glasgow now to find somewhere where I want to go.
Aye, we're the same.
I went to the Arches every month, and that was me.
Aye, we all had the same.
That was it. I didn't really go to bars in Glasgow. I went to the Arches once a month, Pressure once a month, and that was it.
We were probably hung about together because we done the same.
We were going to Pressure once a
all
week.
the time. Aye.
I was about to say how old are you? You're young.
I'm
though.
31.
You're a lot young.
I'm nearly.
You're the
95.
same age.
So
You're the same age.
I'm 31.
I mean, you're more.
So you're 31? I thought you'd have turned 32.
I'm 32 this year.
Oh, so you're all the same age.
I'm born
31 now.
95.
Born 95 as well.
Are you
You just turned 21.
I'm
31.
94.
You're
Yeah.
babies.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
babies. I'm not
June.
telling you.
You don't.
The oldest.
No,
It's my
Cameron,
birthday
you're
tomorrow.
fucking
It's my
idiot.
birthday tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow.
We celebrate it.
Happy
Yeah.
Midnight if we make it to midnight.
Happy 25th birthday.
Funny enough, it was Anton's girlfriend Kerry's birthday through the week, and I messaged her saying happy 26.
Oh,
So
there
she
you
was pleased with
go.
Aye, she's in the Daniel as well.
that.
The two of you look younger than what you are, but
That's good. That's good.
Right, so obviously after all of the stuff that you're planning to do, what's your goal? What's your end goal? Do you want to have like like tourists coming here from
Yeah.
America or overseas, or
Yeah, international tourists coming here, basically seeing the best of the West, what we have to offer in Campbeltown and Kintyre in general, to be honest with
Do you have a website? Do you have a
yeah,
Instagram or
so
anything?
West Coast Concierge website should be up and running after Easter.
That should be a
After
tagline.
Easter.
I'm
See
a
the best
Catholic.
of the West.
See the best,
I'm
best of the
into
West.
that.
I think it was best of the West when I had it on the website, and then I've changed it to. I think it's like the key to the key to town or something. I
Asterisk,
don't
the
even know.
fiddlers and the
Oh,
fellas.
you could overthink it.
You do overthink
You
things,
do
but I'm
overthink it.
very, very proud of my website. I'm actually, it's something that is a personal project. I didn't realise that when you made a website that I actually had to do all the content and all the pictures myself.
Yeah.
So have you done it all yourself?
I've done all that. I haven't obviously
looks
built
amazing.
it. I haven't built
Good.
it myself. Daniel had a little look at it earlier on. And you know me, I don't take photographs very well.
No, she
but
doesn't.
I've got a lot of my own photographs in it. And I'm
Well
quite proud
done,
of
well
that.
done. Good on you.
Yeah, thank you.
It feels like
bit more.
you're putting your own thing
personal.
out there. It's like it is a very
Yeah.
personal thing. Like when we try and brand something,
Mhm.
like obviously we're still at the start. When you brand something, you put it out there. You go, what are people going to
Yeah.
think? You start worrying about what people think.
Well, the actual logo is an angel. So this is another thing I was about to bring in my oracle cards. There's one other thing about me is basically I am quite a spiritual person and I do oracle cards pretty much every day. And the logo is an angel with wings, which kind of brings it into the kind of concierge kind of service. Like, come to Campbelltown and I'll kind of take care of
after
you.
you.
I'll
Guardian
kinda
angel.
take- that
What did
kind
you
of
say?
thing.
What kind of cards?
Oracle.
What is that?
So basically, angel cards. So
I'm
basically, I'll give you a little bit. I'll do it for you later
I'll be
on.
into all that.
I
Those
am
are
no.
the
I am.
Actually,
Aye.
I'm
actually.
Not
heavy
specifically,
in
I
it.
just spiritual things. Aye.
Aye, don't do it on camera.
No.
Because I'll start greeting. No, I'm kidding. No, I won't.
Okay.
Maybe I will.
No, but can we do it later on though?
100%. I am
we'll do
very.
it. Once
I'm
we get
very
to
with
tasting
it.
rooms, we'll do it then.
Right. Okay.
I've got them in my bag because I knew I was going to do it at some point.
I agree with Cheryl. For people coming to Campbelltown,
Yeah.
it's just amazing to tell. That's why we live here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's why we
I know. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I really like about it? Which I wish Denniston was like. Is every single person you've walked past in the street, you've said the right to.
Aye.
Yeah.
And see when I first moved to, because my dad used to say, if you've got a tongue in your head, you should use it.
Yeah.
Because I used to be dead quiet. So when I walk, but when
That's
he used to
really
walk,
nice.
and my dad used to say, no. My dad used to say all right to everybody, and I used to go, why do you know him? And he's like, I don't. I was just saying all right. I was like, oh, that's a good thing. Like,
That's nice.
that's a good thing to do, and that feels like what Campbelltown's
You
like.
definitely get that.
People say that about Glasgow, it's a friendly city, people
Yeah.
talk, but they don't actually. But here, it actually feels like they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Community is a huge thing for me.
Aye,
That
aye,
is
it's
a huge
good,
thing.
aye.
It is. It's
It's the
a
only
big
place
thing.
I ever feel safe walking around in. And that's
Yeah.
why.
well, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's another thing.
It's
as well.
a cracking.
We're both mums, so bringing up kids here.
Yeah.
You know, bringing up the way we were brought up as well.
That's good. Aye.
That's another thing.
Well,
Not the
thank you.
not the 90s way though. It's a little bit
Aye,
different.
well, I hope to fuck my boy doesn't even know what the Archies is.
Why is the best time of your life?
It was aye, but I know what I was doing in it. So anyway, thank you very much for
Thank
you.
coming on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much for
Thank
having us,
you.
inviting us. The
Cheers.
pub's amazing. The Guinness is
Daniel,
so
thank
good.
you.
And I thank you for coming on camera.
No,
and
thank you
talking.
for coming.
It's been so good.
It was really nice to
Anyway,
meet you.
thank you
Anton,
for
you
tuning
okay?
in. For
You're still alive.
I'm still here.
You're good.
Yes.
I probably had more sleep than him by not just sleeping in the morning.
nah, mate, I
catching
was
up.
in my bed. I text him saying I'm at 8 o'clock saying I'm in my bed.
Good on you. Well done, you.
He texted me at 9 o'clock and I was on the flight. He said, I know you're on the flight, but I'll be at your door at 5:45. He said, be ready to leave. Or worst case,
I like the.
be awake.
You done it. You done it. No,
Ah,
that
it's
was good.
fine.
You okay?
Right, okay,
Right.
thank you
Are you
for
okay?
listening.
You're not-
The traumatic
I know,
life he's been. You okay?
Like, so when she's
See-
doing her own TikTok, she's like, ah.